The broke and beautiful life. Millennials now use high-interest loans to pay for their weddings. Tyler Durden Zero Hedge reports, Millennials, already the most indebted generation of all time, are now flocking to high-interest loans to tie the knot, reported the Washington Post. I'm sorry to say they're not just them. Everybody has done this. Everybody wants a beautiful wedding to celebrate their love. Now, demand for wedding loans has quadrupled in the past year, says David Green, Chief Product Officer at Earnest and San Francisco-based online lender, noting that couples spend approximately $16,000 on wedding loans and pay it off in 3 years. Interest rates ranging from 7 to 18% is seen as the cheaper alternative to credit cards. He says people are carrying more debt. They want to get married but don't have the funds to do so. The explosive popularity of these loans has been in the last 3 years, experts say, show how the bride's parents are not picking up the tab anymore, but more of the collective effort by parents, grandparents, and even the bride and bridegroom. Couples are getting married later, so they are more willing to pay. This is what David Wood, president of the Association of Bridal Consultants, says. At the same time, their parents are older. They may be on their retirement income and not have the means to pay for the wedding either. President Trump and the Federal Reserve are absolutely clueless in how they measure inflation, considering the average cost of the wedding is skyrocketing, according to financial advisors. This comes as student loan debt hits $1.5 trillion and millennials have absolutely no savings. Now, the video after this one will have to be is about the fact that they can't sleep at night because of their debt situation. Now, they say, what's driving this growth? Weddings are getting more expensive. People are waiting longer to get married. Unfortunately, this is what Todd Nelson, Director of Strategic Partnership for Lightstream, which is a lending division of SunTrust Bank, he says it used to be, generally speaking, the father of the bride was on the hook for paying the wedding, That's not necessarily the expectation anymore. Personal finance experts said they've noticed more and more millennial clients who are taking out loans to fund their big day. Experts have told their clients that they don't need an expensive Instagram-worthy wedding. Quote, the problem is you don't want to rely on a personal loan for something that is necessary, and there is nothing necessary about an expensive wedding, said Stephanie O'Connell, a personal finance expert and author of The Broke and Beautiful Life. Everything about weddings is discretionary, aside from what you pay the county clerk. O'Connell, who's getting married later this year, will not use loans, but rather cash to pay for her big day. She said also helps clients understand that they need to look past their wedding day and see the big picture if a sustainable life without insurmountable debts. He says you have to put it in context. You could spend $30,000 on a one-day celebration, or you could use it to put a down payment on a house. These loans sound great, but when you're planning your wedding, afterwards, I hear a lot of regret, she says. Brad Pritchett and David Chad expected to pay for their wedding in cash, but a month before their wedding in February, they realized they went over budget. Quote, quite frankly, we both have a taste level where we were not willing to compromise, said Pritchett, 38, Vice President of Marketing for the American Heart Association. He said it was important for us to have a great party to celebrate our love. So having a great Instagram-worthy one-day celebration, or otherwise called a wedding in 2019, is now being funded by high-interest loans that are putting millennials into further debt. Thus, their long-term financial survivability will be in question in the next downturn. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.